I believe in Nigeria, and that is why I have not jackpot. And jackpot is not in my code because Nigeria is great and will make Nigeria great again.
For me, there's nothing to celebrate. If they elect you into an office, just continue. All those 1 year celebration, 2 year, it does not mean anything. You understand? Just continue your office. When it's time for election, you come to vote. For me, there's nothing to celebrate.
I have to struggle on my own. So it's not easy to anyone or government to come and borrow me money to do business. It's not easy by that. So I have to struggle on my own.
I see the impact. Until I feel the impact in what I'm doing, then I applaud them. Now we're not feeling the impact.
They should look into the welfare of the masses and the security also aspect of it, so that by the grace of God, with God helping, things will be better in this our country.
26 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria is running, and many Nigerians are celebrating that democracy is moving in Nigeria. As we are speaking, Democracy Day has been shifted from May 29 to June 12, and June 12 is very close to the corner. We are already in June. Tomorrow, in less than 24 hours, we'll be having June 12 by our side. And the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be celebrating his second year anniversary in the office. But what is the feelings of Nigerians as regard to the government of the day? I'll be finding out from majority of people in the street, and I have with me your name.
My name is Mr. Sonny.
Tomorrow, in less than 24 hours, we'll be celebrating 2 years of democracy in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Remember, the democracy May 29 has been shifted to June 12 for the celebration of Democracy Day. And tomorrow, a few hours' time, will be 2 years.
2 years
democracy of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this current administration. How do you see the activities of the government?
Yeah, actually, the activity of the government, for now, some things is okay and some things is not okay. What do I mean by in terms of pricings, especially in the market? Although particularly some things like shoes and wear and other things is very high in the market. But I pray, let God touch Mr. Tinubu, our president, at least to reduce some certain things down, at least so that we masses will be enjoying it. Thank you.
Looking at what are those things that are high and are low? As you, as the normal man, common man, like people who say, we common man in the market that are feeling it in the streets.
That's what I'm saying. For instance, I mentioned shoes. Like shoes is high. You can't get shoe of 10,000 in the market.
Nigerian made or local foreign made?
Nigerian made. Even likewise foreign made. And then other things like wearing and many things. It's only like even rice. How much are we buying rice before? Before it was 800, 900 a mudu, but now we are buying 2,005. It's high. But we pray, let him touch him so that at least we can be able to buy, even if I want 1.5 a mudu. It's okay. At least a common man can buy it.
As you are standing now, if you have opportunity to see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu standing in your front, what will you tell him?
Yeah, the same thing I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling him. People are suffering for now because there's no money. Even a little one you have cannot be able to reach you out, at least your family. If you buy one mudu now, maybe if you have a 5 kids, how do you feed them? You see where things are going on. I beg, let him God touch him. At least let him do one thing or the other to do things in the market.
But looking at him since 2 years that he has assumed office, what are those things that you think, this man has done well, very well?
Yeah, to me, the only area I'm seeing, especially with development, like our roads, do you understand? Is most of areas is touching it by our minister. So I thank you for that. At least he's doing a lot of road work and other things here. So for him, he's trying for that aspect of that. So that is not my own each side.
So your movement for now is better than before?
It's better than before because we are having a very good road in FCT. You understand? Many places light, other things. The place that light not supposed to be, for now, there's a light here. So other things is making a development in this administrator.
As regards to your own business now, if you are to beg president or to beg government to help you in your own business, what will you say to him?
Yeah, I know it's not easy for government to help me, maybe by borrowing money or one of things, but I have to struggle on my own. So it's not easy to anyone or government to come and borrow me money to do business. It's not easy by that. So I have to struggle on my own. Do you understand? To at least to prove my business.
Like how much do you invest in your business?
Yeah, I started from 500,000. So with now, at least I'm managing myself for that. Do you understand? Yeah.
Has your business grown?
Yeah, it's not growing. It's not growing because of much of expenses and other things. School fees, this, that. So it can't allow me to grow up the way I'm supposed to.
When you talk about professionals, I'm in the medical profession, and it hurts me to see so many medical professionals going outside and going to be of value, value that we could gain so much from here in the country. You see, so I really wish that God would give our leaders the wisdom, to do things right and begin to attract people back home, because we do not need all this knowledge outside. We need these resources back home to build our country. I believe in Nigeria, and that is why I have not hit jackpot. And jackpot is not in my code, because Nigeria is great and will make Nigeria great again.
Even if I want to go further, I want to first of all find out, what will you tell those that are intending to jar?
Well, that is a very, very dicey question right now, because it's subjective. If somebody has made up his mind to japa, as the case may be, well, they can as well go and see. Sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side. When some people have made up their minds, there's really nothing much people can do. And my own opinion is people should not even be pushed to that point to begin to consider that. But when you look at some certain, indices in the country right now, people may just think that that is the only way out. So for people who have that plan in mind, well, I just pray that let them just also know that the grass is not always greener, on the other side.
Tomorrow, in less than 24 hours, we'll be calculating 2 years of the government. Advice. What kind of advice will you be advising government?
Please listen to the people you are ruling. Listen. Really feel the pulse of people. It's really not easy. Once upon a time, Nigerians never committed suicide. But, depression is at its peak. Nigerians, mental illness is not when people pull off their clothes and go onto the streets like we think. A lot of Nigerians are angry. There's a lot of transferred aggression. All these are already signs of mental illness. We are bottling a lot inside us. There's so much aggression, so much road rage, people committing suicide. That is really, really painful. So they should listen to the masses. They should listen to the people they are governing. If you don't have people, who are you governing? Feel the pulse of the people. Let's be realistic.
All those celebrations, for me, it does not count. If they elect you into an office, just continue. All those 1 year celebration, 2 year, it does not mean anything. You understand? Just continue your office. When it's time for election, you come to vote. For me, there's nothing to celebrate. Are you celebrating hunger or insecurity or hardship? So many things, so there's nothing to celebrate.
But if you are talking of what we are facing, the security, will you say it has improved or not? No more blockage on the road and others. But,
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't say particularly to this government, but Nigeria has always been having insecurity issues. But as time goes on, it keeps increasing. And the only way I can blame this government is because they are not putting much effort to curb it. But just like the former military governor said, if security passes 24 hours, just know that government is part of it. So I don't see it ending anytime soon. So it's not particular to this current government, but I see it as a policy that everybody plays. So it will still continue.
but in your own way, like Mr. Favor that I'm looking at, handsome guy like you that I'm looking at, if you are to advise government on what they should do to curb insecurity, what will you tell them to do?
Are you going to advise a thief on how to stop being a thief? He knows how to stop it and he knows how to do it. They know what they're doing. It's politics. So there's nothing like my advice is as useless as anything.
You don't think so? Don't think so? Well, you can still give your advice.
From my own perception, you don't advise this, but they know what to do. It's just like, how do you reduce inflation? They know, but they don't want to do it. So there's no need of me wasting my strength. They know what to do. They know. all these hoodlums that carry ballot papers, who do you sponsor them? Who buys them guns? Who buys them SUVs? Now the politicians, so they know what to do. I'm not going to advise anybody on what to do or not what to do. They know where Sambisa Forest is, don't they? They know people that sponsor it, don't they? But don't worry about that one. They know what they're doing. You understand? But advising them is a waste of time.
Okay, now, young man, what are you expecting
From
from government?
for me, if you're asking me, for this government, I don't want to sound like hopeless, but nothing.
I wish them well, oh. I wish them well. But if I see the impact, until I feel the impact in what I'm doing, then I'll applaud them. Now we're not feeling the impact. Now because of the high cost of this now, initially I can sell this 100 pieces in a day when the white men were putting their subsidy because Nigerians have the capacity to buy. But now you have eroded, they've completely eroded Nigerians' capacity to buy. When they just say, how much? 10,000? Oh, we can see them running away. But if I say now this thing, 5,000 now, you see Nigerians. But it was the white man from his country that came to know that this thing that our masses need it. At least to help themselves, those that cannot afford, what's it called, gas, right? But now look at it. So, but if our government can think through this, SMS and what SME they talk about, or only hear it on news, I've not really seen the workability. These are the things that they ought to look into and help us. Can say our company name instead, or should they, let it not be that I'm advertising the company.
You are going to pay me for the advert too.
Well, now you can interview me. I mean, I know beg you make you can interview me before.
Yeah, they talk. They hear
Okay.
you.
So when they assist in things like this, honestly, the spiral effect will be so much in that it will help Nigerians reduce the burden of gas, and then you have spare money. You have spare money to look at some other issues, and life will be less burdensome. Because now, in fact, most Nigerians, I live in the rural areas. You get, I can feel the pain on Nigerians.
So if governments to come in, what do you think they can do that will make those people you are talking about in rural area to feel it?
Yes, what government will just do, we see, if you bring down the cost, it's inflation. Yeah, should I call this inflation or no? Or not, I don't know. But I think it's inflation. I wish them well, oh. I wish them well. But if I see the impact, until I feel the impact in what I'm doing, then I'll applaud them. Now we're not feeling the impact. Now because of the high cost of this now, initially I can sell this 100 pieces in a day when the white men were putting their subsidy because Nigerians have the capacity to buy. But now you have eroded, they've completely eroded Nigerians' capacity to buy. When they just say, how much? 10,000? Oh, we can see them running away. But if I say now this thing, 5,000 now, you see Nigerians. But it was the white man from his country that came to know that this thing that our masses need it. At least to help themselves, those that cannot afford, what's it called, gas, right? But now look at it. So, but if our government can think through this, SMS and what SME they talk about, or only hear it on news, I've not really seen the workability. These are the things that they ought to look into and help us. Can say our company name instead, or should they, let it not be that I'm advertising the company.
You are going to pay me for the advert too.
Well, now you can interview me. I mean, I know beg you make you can interview me before.
Yeah, they talk. They hear
Okay.
you.
So when they assist in things like this, honestly, the spiral effect will be so much in that it will help Nigerians reduce the burden of gas, and then you have spare money. You have spare money to look at some other issues, and life will be less burdensome. Because now, in fact, most Nigerians, I live in the rural areas. You get, I can feel the pain on Nigerians.
So if governments to come in, what do you think they can do that will make those people you are talking about in rural area to feel it?
Yes, what government will just do, we see, if you bring down the cost, it's inflation. Yeah, should I call this inflation or no? Or not, I don't know. But I think it's inflation. If inflation should drop now, the inflation rate should drop. Those in rural area will feel it.
So are you saying that they should pump money into the system?
It's not necessarily pumping money, but if you pump money and there's inflation, inflation takes away the whole money. A loaf of bread now becomes maybe 10,000 naira. That has no meaning. Do you get? But if you encourage, like SMEs, subsidize, give them enablement to produce, and they bring down their prices, the little money you have in your pocket can purchase, at least can help you make 2 square meals. People are not talking about 3 square now. And then I think things will come down gradually. So not just pumping money. If you pump money, inflation might eat it. But what your government will do that will reduce inflation? I think that is by bringing down maybe the cost of some of the things. If I say it now, they may say that those are no-go area. But let them encourage local manufacturing.
What are those?
I like the pump price. Once if you touch it now, drop. Honestly, Nigeria will let's say they pour water for their head. Because it's that pump price that was touched that fact was that increased, multiplied the trouble of Nigeria. But if you bring it down, it comes down gradually. The taxi driver will bring down his fare. The man that goes to buy sweet potato from Kereshi market, well, I mean, by the time he brings it to town, he brings down the cost of his sweet potato.
Nigerians don't like to bring down their prices.
No, they will. If they refuse to bring it, also government can also introduce a measure to help them bring it down. In those days, as I was growing up, I heard about the Moritala regime. Then I was a small boy. I think I grew up in Benin. There are times there's this called market control, what's it called? Price control. They'll enter market and go to your shop. How much are you selling a bag of rice? If you are selling beyond what is prescribed, the regime then will help you open it up to the masses and sell at the control price, because they know how much you bought. They can also know the cost of transportation to bring it from wherever you claim you bought it from to your shop where you are selling it. These things will come down naturally, just little measure from government.
There is no government that is set up of its own, but is of God, no matter whatever the situation is. Because it is God that enthrones a king and still dethrones him, no matter the situation. So the present government, I know it is of God, because no one lives by himself, but as God gives him the life to live. And when it is time for the person to live, he will also live. So in everything, God said we have to give him thanks. And God at times gives us a leader after our own heart. And God knows the time that, the type of people that we are in Nigeria, the kind of leader that will be fitting to us, he gives to us in order to correct some anomalies. And the most important thing one has to have in mind also is the fear of God. Because when we have that fear of God, it's the beginning of wisdom. And it solves every other thing in life when we have that fear of God. Because there is a wisdom that accomplishes it. Just like when Solomon, God asked him to ask for anything. He did not ask for the life of his enemies, but rather he asked for wisdom, so that we'll be able to direct people that God gives to him to lead.
So if you are to advise government, this is second year now, what advice will you be giving to government?
I will say kudos to them, because they have tried. It's not all that easy. It's not all that easy. But with God, all things are easy, I think, and possible.
What aspect will you ask them to look into?
The aspect of the economy, the hardship, which the masses are passing through, they need to consider. For instance, the prices of things that is going on in the market, both transportation aspect, education, and in fact, since the removal of the subsidy, the oil subsidy, it affects virtually everything in the system of the country. I do understand. So I will want the government to consider that if there is a need to put a price control, then let that be something of that nature, because there are some downtrodden ones who hardly they could even get 1 square meal in a day. I do understand. So these ones are also people that are part of the country. They have to enjoy their own country. They are not strangers. They are no visitors in another country, but their own country. So the leaders should not make things hard for them, because when it is time for voting, the leaders wouldn't mind to even go to their own houses one by one and begin to thank you and eat with them. But the moment they get into the office, they will keep them at arm's length, and it is not so. It's not supposed to be so, because in the sight of God, we are all one. We are all one. So they should look into the welfare of the masses and the security also aspect of it, so that by the grace of God, with God helping, things will be better in this our country.